Hey everybody, welcome into the very first episode of the 2020 Seattle Seahawks show, which is called the HAWKER show, featuring yours truly, Todd Fox, who comes from podcast forums of iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, and all that other stuff with a show called The Grinds. But enough tooting my horn, it's time to get to business. So like and subscribe, please, to this channel. It's brand new. What I'm going to be doing every week is doing a preview of the upcoming opponents for the Seattle Seahawks, breaking down the strengths and weaknesses on their side as well as ours, and to give you the full roster breakdown of who's playing, who's not, and then the keys to the game and who I think is going to be the performer plus the prediction. So it's one of those just shows that's going to break down game after game, and I'll do that probably on Thursday or Friday before the game. I'll have an episode out on the YouTube channel and other places, like on social media, Facebook, Instagram, whatever like that. And then also, I'll be doing a recap show depending on when the Seahawks play. Whether it's a Sunday game, I'll have a recap show that Monday night, or the following Monday or whenever, and I'll have some highlights or whatever, and then I'll break down the games, what went right and what went wrong. Try to say that 60 times fast. Couldn't even say it twice. And then also, if they play Monday, I'll have a recap Tuesday. Thursday will be the Friday. But I want to do at least 2 episodes every week, and hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully you guys don't kill me too much in the comments. And hopefully we can enjoy this ride together. It's going to be a different season. So this is episode 1 where I'm just describing what I'm going to be doing. And getting into the different type of season is we had the COVID thing shoved down our throats, and understandably, but for me, I kind of took it personal because I wanted to see the NFL draft. And when the COVID thing was, at its peak, I wanted a little escape from it because it was really one of the first sporting events that came back even before baseball did. So I was hoping that, we could just get away for a few minutes and understand. We all know it's a different world. We all know everyone was separated. But during the draft, Commissioner Goodell and everyone else, every commercial was COVID this, COVID that. During the show, COVID this, COVID that. And it kind of sucked. So, and then when the NFL... Unfortunately, the United States is going through this thing with all the black-white issues, or just the black versus cops issues. And whatever side you're on, it's just a lot of politics being shoved down our throats within sports. And some people like it, some people don't. I'm not going to give you my interpretation on it or my views because I kind of just want to stay away from it. I kind of just want to go to sports. If I want to watch the news and get what's going on, I'll watch the news, or I'll go to my Twitter feed, sports page, whatever, and I'll news pages on my Facebook, social media, and then I'll figure out what's going on. But for right now, I just want to watch sports, and unfortunately, we're going to have political views, stances, kneeling, whatever, but I'm going to try to stay away from that as much as possible. I just want to get to the X and O's. So real quick, I just want to get through a couple quick things because there was a couple breaking things that happened today, which is on the 5th today of August. We lost our boy Shaquille Griffin, one of the Griffin brothers. I know I'm blanking on it, but we cut him today. That was kind of sad. He was a fan favorite from last year and from years past with his brother. Rashard Penny's still on injured reserve. Hopefully he'll be back soon. Josh Gordon's on the reinstated list. We signed him, so hopefully he'll be like a third down back again, or third down receiver, I'm sorry. And hopefully he can make some good catches because he did really well last year. The problem was, we just didn't have that many spots for him. He was like the 4th, 5th receiver, and then he got in trouble again. So we had all that to deal with. But it looks like from what we know this year, hopefully he'll give a shot at that fourth receiver, because I don't think he's going to get over some of the other receivers we have, and I'll get into that in a minute. Brennan Jackson, if you haven't heard, he was defensive end, which we brought back from last year. He wasn't phenomenal, but he was better than most of the defensive ends or defensive tackles we have, and he hit his head apparently really hard. His career may be over. There's a good chance he's not playing this year for sure, and his career is in jeopardy with that concussion. Other players to watch this year, obviously Russell Wilson is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I put him up there with Mahomes, maybe 1A, 1B. They're awesome. Russell Wilson, we've been blessed with him as a Seattle Seahawks fan to have a great quarterback like himself. Should have 2 Super Bowl rings, but please don't remind me of the handoff. That always bothers me, and that will always bother me no matter if we win another Super Bowl. It'll help winning another Super Bowl, but just knowing that we could have had another one just pisses me off. Luke Wilson, if he could ever stay healthy, great blocker. I like him. Obviously, KJ Wright looks as healthy as he's ever been coming out of training camp, preseason, whatever you want to call it, since we don't have preseason. It's a different year since we don't have the preseason. So, we don't get to see what happens with our players or testing everybody out. It's all inter-squad games, and it's left up to the coaches. Interesting players to watch out for is John Ursa as a receiver if he's going to make the team because there's final cut downs. And also really disappointed today too. Breaking news, obviously, if you haven't heard, Janavian Clowney signed with the Tennessee Titans. So I was really hoping we would get him back, even though he's been a diva all offseason. He would have really helped the defensive line because, in my opinion, and I'll break it down later, the defensive line is just the biggest weakness on this football team. The offensive line is much better, obviously, with new coaches, not Tom Cable. But we did lose some guys, some depth from last year. George Fant, I really wish he would have stayed. But, we got some young guys with promise. We've signed some free agents, and I'll get over that as well. Let's see, and then with backup quarterback, we stuck with Geno Smith. So I'm just going to give a quick rundown. We got Ethan Posick back, Tyler Ott. Greg Olson's a good addition, veteran tight end. He's going to go along with Luke Wilson and probably is blocking for the most part. Disley's not really much of a blocker, but he gets open and makes big plays. Again, like Luke Wilson, can he stay healthy? And then we got David Moore, who will, I think I heard something about he was cut today too. So Moore might be out. I'll check on that. Check in with you guys on the next show because I'm gonna preview the Falcons next. DK Metcalf, what can I say? Dude looks phenomenal. If you haven't drafted him or had your draft, try to get him because I have a feeling he's gonna have a breakout year. I think he's going to surpass Tyler Lockett for the number one go-to guy this year. I know he had some drops last year, but in a rookie season, he was still phenomenal. So look for DK Metcalf to get you touchdowns inside the red zone, plus some deep threat tosses from Wilson. And if he's not going deep, our boy Tyler Lockett will, and I think he's going to make a lot of good plays. Look for guys to show up like Jamarco Jones, Mike Upati. Hopefully he could take the next step. A guy we got back, a familiar face, Bruce Irvin. Bruce Irvin makes it back as a defensive pass rusher and some part-time linebacker. He's very effective in the pass rush, and I think back in Pete Carroll's system and Ken Norton's system, things will work out. Two running backs besides Penny that'll back up Chris Carson, which I really like, is Travis Homer. He came on really strong at the end of the year, showed his versatility, could take a hit for a little guy. I really liked his style. And then Carlos Hyde's a great backup to have right now. Experienced veteran running back can take a hit, could pound the rock, and then also if he gets in the open field, he's got the speed to kind of break away. So I do like him a lot. Jacob Hollister, that's our fourth tight end. I don't think he'll get, as much as he did good towards the second half, I think it's for battling, I think the odd man out, if you had to pick one out of the four tight ends, I think it was Luke Wilson. He's had a lot of opportunities. They brought him back twice. He's been hurt a lot, was hurt last year. Jacob Hollister really made some phenomenal catches towards the end of the season, played really tough. I think he could be the second stringer, and then Disley has to try to overpass him. That's just my opinion. But we'll see where they fall on the depth chart, because right now on the Seahawks homepage, they don't have the depth chart out yet. They're still obviously making moves. Phil Haynes is in there, too, as an offensive lineman. Shaquille Griffin, obviously, is going to be a big force as a corner. I love our corners this year and safeties. I think that is the strength on our team. Outside of the receivers is the defensive backs in the corners or in the safeties. We just got a great bit of them right here, or just a lot of talent. They're like the LOB 2.0, but really quiet, at least for right now. Trey Flowers actually had better stats than Shaquille Griffin, which a lot of people don't think really happened or don't understand. His numbers, he was thrown out a lot, but he really handled his business last year if you watched a lot of Seahawks games. Shaquille Griffin, getting back to him real quick though, is in the final year of his contract. So look for this dude to put out this year and make some plays because he's going to want to get paid, and I hope he stays here in Seattle. Like I said, they got Trey Flowers on the other side. And then you got Quentin Dunbar. I know he had a little mistake leaving the Washington team, but he was acquitted. Innocent man. I'm not throwing shade on him. Everyone makes mistakes, but now it's time to fly straight. And if he's fly straight here in Seattle Seahawks fans, like most fans, second chances, forgiven. It don't matter who you are, what color you are. Seattle Seahawks fans are very loyal. The 12s are loyal. And I believe if Dunbar plays the way he can play and played in Washington, he's going to be a fan favorite like most that come in here to Seattle. Quandre Diggs, what can I say about him too? He played great down the stretch from Detroit last year. And I think it's going to also follow up on the strong safety side with him. Philip Dorsett will be your third string receiver. He's going to be a damn good one out of New England. People are forgetting about him and sleeping on him. He's going to be great. We know Chris Carson is Chris Carson. He's going to do what he's got to do. Dwayne Brown's going to be there as well at tackle. LJ Collier as a defensive end is the big question mark. He did not see the field much at all as a rookie last year, and that can't happen. And in a player who is drafted third round and up, you got to see the field in the first year, and that just shows me that he wasn't consistent enough in practice. You got to earn your time, and maybe he just didn't take things seriously. So hopefully this year is different. Hopefully he shows up because God knows we need a pass rush. And I'm going through the different positions because the depth chart is off, so I don't have that in play or whatever, but I'm just going by certain players as I'm going up the roster, and that's how I'm doing it. Marquise Blair, free safety, backup, obviously with Dunbar in there, and Quandre Diggs, you're not going to see much playing time. He's going to be more. He played good, though, last year, and they could use him as an extra corner, but he's going to be mostly a special teamer. And then the big name, Jamal Adams, coming in from the New York Jets. He's going to be a hell of a player back there at at free safety or strong safety, whichever the one they mix him with Dunbar. I really think that this is going to be a great team this year defensively, or with Quandre Diggs. I keep saying Dunbar. Diggs and Adams in the safety positions are going to be great. We got good corners now. It's just with Dunbar, Griffin, and Flowers. So you look at that secondary. Secondary is amazing. You got Bobby Wagner, KJ Wright in the middle with linebacking crew. I really feel really good about the defense and the offense as well. But again, you got to cross your fingers that everyone stays healthy and that we can get through these first few games, because right now, as I know, the first 3 games are going to be blacked out as far as fans. We are not going to be able to have fans for the opener against the New England Patriots, the new look New England Patriots, and then also the Minnesota Vikings and the Cowboys, Cowboys and then the Vikings. And then hopefully after that, the COVID thing dies down enough, that we can have fans back in there in an outdoor. I would think you could have more fans in an outdoor arena than you would in an indoor arena, because I guess it traps the germs in. But we'll see. Maybe Fauci will give us a shot at getting some fans in there, because I know there's only 2 teams so far I think that are going to go with fans. The Chiefs are one, and they're going to go with something like 15 to 20,000 fans, and Baltimore I think is the other one. So hopefully we can get the fans back, because we know we're going to need you guys, the 12s, and I want to go up and see a game or 2 up there, because I'm in the Los Angeles area. I always see them when they play the Rams and when they play the Cardinals, so I want to go up to Seattle. I always make at least one trip up there. So I love it up there. I'm hoping things calm down in a lot of ways for the Pacific Northwest and the rest of the nation, and we can get back to having sports and loving one another and putting up with one another and just enjoying sports and getting away from our issues. So hopefully, like I said, next I will break into a video probably Wednesday or Thursday to preview the Atlanta Falcons game. The roster should be set, so I'm not doing it off the cuff. I'll be more, professional. So, again, tell me what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. If you have any questions, I'll try to answer them. I'm a big Seahawks fan. Love the Seahawks. Been a Seahawks fan since 1988. I'm wearing a Dave Craig jersey. This is unfortunately not an original. It's custom made by my friend, but he did a good job. It has Craig on the back. He was one of my favorite quarterbacks. I only got to see him for a year or 2, and then he went to the Chiefs, so that kind of sucked. But I'm not one of these 2012s. I've been here for the long run. I love my Hawks. So with that being said, like and subscribe to the page. Please, please, please tell a friend if they are a Seahawks fan. And if you enjoyed this video, please share as well. It would mean a lot to me and a lot to the stuff that I put into this, because I really enjoy doing podcasts. I'll leave a link if you guys want to hear the other stuff that we do. We do a sports show. We do an NFL show. But this is just pure Seahawks. I'm not going to be talking about any other team. So unless they're playing the Seahawks. So with that being said, this is Todd Fox, Seahawker Show out.